Hey y'all.
Hi friends.
Hey friends. So I had told Rachel that I wanted to talk about entitlement, and then we thought about how we can really get off on a tangent. So we're going to talk about entitlement.
Keep it tight today.
Keep it tight. Entitlement as disrespect in relationships. So the first relationship that popped in my head that I think where this happens most often, it's like the easiest way to describe, is with parent and child.
Mm-hmm.
So
we're going to stick to that example only.
yes, it happens in all relationships, but I think that's probably the easiest. So parents oftentimes, like I like your perspective because you are a parent and I am not. But so say how you feel. Have you been disrespectful as a parent?
I'm sure there have been moments.
Entitlement?
Absolutely. There have absolutely been moments where I've felt entitled to my daughter and what happens to her when I should have let her be making those choices for herself, and she was in a place of being capable. I think that's part of it, right?
Yeah.
So I told my parents a long time ago, not to call you out, but I didn't want to raise children. I just wanted to love them. And they were like, oh, wait till you're a parent. And I still feel that way. I don't want to raise children. I think parents go wrong. Sometimes we start to raise our children because we're raising them on our projection of what we think is right in our world, right?
Yeah.
But one of the things change. The world changes, and that person is not you, right?
Yeah.
And as much as they're nurtured by you, there are so many natural things about them that are so different from you. And when you try to force them into your morals, your ethics, your standards, your desires, your academic path, whatever you think is like right for them, if that doesn't fit them and you don't give them the agency or the voice to share that with you, and when they speak up you don't respect it and listen to it and honor the things they've told you, then and you think it's your right as their parent to not have to, that is full-fledged entitlement.
That is entitlement. That right part. The fact that you have the right over another person.
Any person. I don't care if you birthed them or not. Once
Yeah.
they're here, they are individually human. Now you are connected and there ain't nobody like your mama,
Yeah.
but it does not give you the right to take away their agency, right?
So entitlement, what you just made me think of is that entitlement on a very basic level is you thinking that your rights are like more important or like more take priority over someone else's.
Yeah, and this is how I would describe it, and I think it fits in any example. Entitlement is walking through the world with disregard to how other people experience the space you take up. If you are disregarding how your presence or the way you move in a room or the way you speak your mind absolutely affects the people around you, and you don't think about it, care about it, have any awareness of it, and you just do what you want to do, you are behaving in entitled
Well, you know what I think? I don't even think it's disregard all the time, especially when it comes to parents. I think
It's not always disregard, you're right.
parents feel justified in prioritizing
They know better.
They know better.
They're raising their child.
Right. It's their responsibility. They're responsible for this person.
I used to say this too, like with my daughter, I want to be her fence. And when she's very, very young, that's a very small fence.
Right.
Inside that fence, I want her to have total free reign. Her body's in there, things that she can cognitively take care of on her own. Every time she gets more capable, the fence grows a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm the fence. I'm on the outside. And I also am the gate. I get to kind of determine who gets to come in and out of the gate a little bit. The older she gets, the gates fall off. She gets to invite people inside that fence. Eventually, my fence is so far away from her physical being that she has free reign of it's her world. And my job as the fence is only to keep things out that I can see and understand that she's not cognitively able to see and understand yet. But when she starts to get to that level, that's her job. I'm passing the torch to her. And when she makes a decision that hurts her, and I want to run and fix it because I don't want to see my baby hurt. I can't.
Yeah.
If she's capable of dealing with those consequences and fixing that thing, I have to let her, because I'm enabling her otherwise, and I'm also robbing her of the opportunity to learn the lesson, and I'm actually slowing her growth, right?
And then she will not then have what she needs to be a parent.
Right, moving forward. And
if she chooses
and
to.
That, feeling that level of responsibility, like fix it for somebody or heal your kid or whatever, is not necessarily entitlement, but doing it and being like, no, I'm doing this because it is my right as your mother to fix it for you, so sit down and I'll handle it. That tone, that attitude, that's entitlement.
Yeah. And that is disrespect.
And it's super disrespectful. You're not even giving that person the space to be fully developed human capable, right?
I think that there's a trend that parents cannot be disrespectful to their children. Like, not unless it's not in subtle ways. It has to be like. So I think, I mean, it's obvious that parents can disrespect their kids, like in the, like, you know, physical ways and stuff like that. But I do think that there's like this idea that because I'm a parent, I can't disrespect my child because I am entitled to what have you.
What mamas say that all the time, right? I brought you into this world, I can take you out. Right. No, you cannot.
Right. Right.
That is not your right. I get it. I get the sentiment. I do. And I understand the input that a mother has had in a child's life, but that was your gift, and then you got to let it go and let that person be a whole human.
Yeah.
And also, like, the term, like, it's a mother's right to have an opinion, to get in your private business, to right? Mothers say all the time, it's a mother's right. Mothers actually don't have different rights than other civilians to other humans.
Right.
Because you are just people.
Right.
Your right is to love them.
When does that change? So I like your example with the fence. And I think that example is like, it's something that you have to be paying attention to because it very gradually and actively expands. But for our viewers, when as a parent how do you recognize that you need to?
This is the active part of it. Part of the conversation, I believe you've got to give your kid a voice their whole life. You should be asking them their opinion as soon as they can give you an opinion. Now, the understanding needs to be that it is just that. It's an opinion. It's not the final decision. I make the final decision. But I want your input, and I want you to know you're heard, and I'm going to consider that, and then we're going to make our choice.
Yeah.
For the family, right?
Yeah.
But that's the active part of it. If you're always kind of getting your kid's voice out there and you're hearing them, you're going to start to recognize when their opinions shift from being like super self-serving to being super thoughtful or deeper or more emotionally in tune. And those conversations where you're giving them a voice and you're sharing your voice, because it needs to be reciprocal, like any healthy relationship. If they get a voice and they get to share their opinion, then you also get to share your opinion with them, and they have to consider why you might want to do that. So as simple as like, where do you want to eat? And they want to eat at McDonald's, and you want to sit down and eat at a nice restaurant, and they're like, ugh, and mad you don't choose McDonald's. You get to explain to them why it was important to you to sit down at the restaurant. And now you're growing their emotional intelligence. You're growing their communication skills. You're growing them.
You are doing what you set out to do as a parent.
And when you say to them, when you never ask them for their voice and you never share yours, they're never learning to gain understanding and gain different viewpoints from other people's perspectives and consider that and be compassionate. So you have to actively be doing that, and that reduces entitlement too.
To entitlement as disrespect, because not giving your child a voice all along, feeling that you are the only one entitled to a voice, is a level of disrespect.
Because
and then not, hearing them and respecting their voice and allowing them to make decisions for themselves when they have proven capable of making those decisions is
also a form of entitlement.
it's a lot.
It's a lot.
I don't know.
And that's just one relationship. We're not even talking about all the other ones.
All right, y'all. Well, we teach love.